Page 83, French dance. Just a fun little happy dance. On page 82, they're introducing you to the primary chords in the key of G major. So let's review primary chords to make sure you understand what's going on here. Because a primary chord is a primary chord is a primary chord. It doesn't matter what the key signature is. Let's go back to C major. Make sure we understand those. Remember those. C major, all the white keys. The three primary chords are the 1, the 4, and the 5, 7. It's the same numbers in any key. Doesn't matter. So you know that it's built on that step of the scale. So the one chord is built on the first step of the scale, and the key in C major, that would be the C. So you have a C chord. It's a one chord in the key of C. And then the 4 chord, we've been using this arrangement because we want the C here, but really it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's built on the 4th step. We just put this down here so we don't have to move the hand around. Alright, same with the 5, 7. It's built on the 5th step, and we add the 7th. But we don't use all the notes. We don't have to use all the notes. And so we've been doing here. We could play the D. That's the whole thing. We just usually use 3 notes. That's the key of C. Well, G major works the same way. So let's review. G major is all the white keys except for the F sharp. Here. So step 1, well, that would be a G chord. So it's a 1 chord in the key of G. It's a 5 chord in the key of C. Is this fun or what? Okay. Now the 4 chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, that would be a C chord. So a C chord is the 4 chord in the key of G. But it is a 1 chord in the key of C. Boom. Okay. Then the 5 chord in the key of D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember the F sharp, it's in the key signature. And I add the 7th to it. That would be the 5, 7, or a D7 chord. And this is not in the key of C because it's got a sharp, and you don't have an F sharp in the key of C. And again, we just rearrange it and we don't have to use all the notes. So I'm here, and then for the 4 chord or the C chord, I just go up. And then the 5, 7 chord, I come down here. That's the primary chord. Should do it in both hands. Another way of looking at it, just to check, is like in the key of C, when I want to go to the 4 chord, I'm just taking the top 2 notes of the chord up in the scale. It's here. And then the 5, 7 chord, I'm using the top 2 notes in the 5-finger position, and the left hand, or the bottom note comes down a half step. Well, I do that same pattern in any key. I'll get it. So in the key of G, I'm here. For the 4 chord, I just take the top 2 notes up in the scale here, right here. And then for the 5, 7 chord, I'm using the top 2 notes in this hand position, which is here. And this goes down a half step, is here. It's the same pattern in any key. You could start with a chord, whatever chord, and if you use this same pattern, you'll get the primary chords in that key. You may not know what it is or what's going on, but it'll be the primary chords. Here, here, if I go up, here, but you need to know what the key is to know what black notes are involved, but okay, that'll work the same way. So don't make it any harder than it needs to be. Just know that we're going to use these chords a lot. And we get them here in this dance for the left hand. It just makes reading music so much easier when you recognize the chord and you think of it as one thing rather than all these notes. I'm not going to do the chord jump thing there on page 82. You can do that because you're moving around. That's not even a primary chord. That's the 5, 7. It's not, or the 5 chord. It's not the 7 until you add the 7th to it, which they do in the right hand. And then here, you can do that chord jump thing. If you have any questions, let me know. I want to talk about French dance. It's 1 page long, treble and bass clef, 1 sharp in the key signature. We're still in the key of G major, so all the F's are sharped. Okay. And 4/4 time. We have a pickup beat because the first measure only has one count in it. Well, the bottom measure has 3, so this is beat 4. Right hand first, let's make sure we know what's going on here. Here, we're in this position, sort of. Don't forget the F sharp. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, oh, this is exciting. 4, measure 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, cross over. If you can do the G major scale, this is it. Those measures 3 and 4, G major scale. We just add the rhythm. 1 and 2. See, this is one of the beauties about not being able to do the scales, because you'll run across them in music and you'll, oh, this is easy. Why is this easy? Why am I able to do this? Because it's just a scale going on. And then the left hand gets measure 6 and you come in a measure 7. 1 and 2. And then going on, you're going to change hand positions on the repeated note. And do that again. Left hand, well, you get the chords here. The 1 chord, 4 chord, 1 chord, 4 chord, 1 chord. Oh, buddy. Measure 6. 1 and 2, 3, 4. And the 2 measures later, you get the 5/7 chord. And you do that some more. Put the hands together. You're here. Right when I play the B, the left hand comes out. And I'm playing everything connected right now. We'll put in this other stuff later. Get the idea? Next is the articulation. These staccatos are short. I'm flexing at the wrist. I'm bouncing off the keys. Now, if it goes fast, you don't have time to bounce off the keys. You have to do that, but it's a small motion. Don't come way up. Just here. But right now we're slow. I'm bouncing off the keys. Short. Lift up. Get the idea? Now the dynamics, that applies to the melody, and most of it's in the right hand. Loud, whatever you think loud is. Forte. You're using a lot of weight, and the chords are soft. And then measure 4, going into measure 5, soft. Now at measure 6, the left hand gets the melody, so it's soft. Was soft anyway. And the hairpin to go back up to loud. Don't get loud until the pickup to measure 9. So it's this soft. Louder, about a moderately loud there, and now loud. Okay, so the left hand's soft, and loud for the rest of it. And then speed. They say moderato. I like to play this fast, but they say moderato, so it's the feel of it. What people dancing. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not moderato. That's fast, sort of fast. A moderato. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be a. I like it a little faster than that. Well, it has to be accurate. So what's accurate to you, or what's fast to you? Now, if it were really super fast. Change the fingering, because this repeated note thing at the first 2 full measures, that's fine at a moderate tempo, but when you get to going fast, 1 finger on a repeated note doesn't work all that well. So in that case, I would change it to, the first one is 5, and then I'd do 1, 3 on the rest of them, and just alternate, because I can stay relaxed that way. And then at the end, I measure 3. Then I'd come back to 5. So I go, so it'd go that sort of fingering, just to stay relaxed, depending on the speed. This isn't going that fast, so we can continue to use the same finger on. If you want to play around with it and get a little experience at that alternating different fingers thing, then do it anyway. Just even it's 5 and then 1, 3 on the rest of them for the line. So 5, 1, 3, 1, 3, and then 5 for measure 3. You want to try that out? Try it. It'll help you out in other pieces later on if you can get the idea of doing this. So a little awkward at first, but awkwardness now overcome helps you later. Let's play this together very slowly and double check that you have the correct notes and rhythms. I'm going to give us 3 counts because we come in on beat 4. Real slow. I'm not going to do any dynamics. I'm going to play both hands about the same because I need you to just hear the notes. 1, ready, go. 3. 2, 3.